So you want visible abs. You've tried all the 10-minute ab workouts and the weird diets, but you still haven't got abs. Trust me, I can relate. A couple of years ago, I looked like this. And at the time, I thought I was just one of those people that couldn't get abs. But then I finally realized, no, I wasn't the only human on the earth that couldn't have abs. I was just doing it wrong. And before I knew it, I had abs. And today I'm going to show you exactly how I did it and how you can do it too. Firstly, you need to understand that everyone has abs. Whether you're 400 pounds and obese, or skinny fat, everyone has them, they're just hidden. So visible abs requires two things. Number one, muscular development, and number two, having a low enough body fat for your abs to show. And most people only focus on the first part of that equation, and I'm sorry, unless you're some genetic freak like Eddie Hall, and you can have abs at 35% body fat, unless you have low body fat, you will not have visible abs. Most men will start to see visibly defined abs at around 10 to 15% body fat, and for women about 17 to 20%. If you're a man at around 20% body fat, you'll be able to start seeing your top two abs in perfect lighting. At around 15%, you'll be able to see your abs when you're fully flexed. And around 10 to 12%, you'll still have those abs visible even when relaxed. I still remember the first moment I ever saw my top two abs in the mirror, and it was surreal. It's something that everyone needs to experience in their life at least once, seeing your abs for the first time. But there's something you need to know. Once your abs start showing, they may not look how you expected them to. Using myself as an example here, I always thought once I have low enough body fat, I'll have one of those perfectly symmetrical six packs like the ones you see on magazine covers. Little did I know though, I actually have a pretty asymmetrical ab structure, and I actually have a 4-pack, or well, 3.5 pack, because when I was younger I had a surgery and I'm actually missing half of one of my abs, but that's a story for another day. So how your abs look are entirely genetic, so they may look different to how you thought they were going to look. Where your fat is distributed also plays a massive role, and again, it's entirely genetic. Some people's abs pop when they're around 15% body fat, and others hold more fat over their abdomen, meaning they're not going to have very visible abs until they're sub 10% body fat. It's just genetics and you can't change it. Alright, now let's get into how you can actually get visible abs for the first time. And we'll start with body fat, because without this, nothing else truly matters. And I wish I knew this when I was first trying to get abs. After every ab workout, I was looking in the mirror thinking, where are my abs then? But I didn't realize at the time I was 30% body fat, so of course they weren't showing. So how do you reduce your body fat? I'm sure you already know this, but you need to be in a calorie deficit. And if you don't know what that means, it basically means burn more calories than you consume. So you're going to start by working out what your maintenance calories are. And you can do this by using a TDEE calculator. I'll do you a favor and I'll drop one in the description for you to check out. Once you have that number, you have two options for your deficit. You can go with a moderate deficit or an aggressive deficit. The moderate deficit is a 500 calorie deficit, and I recommend this to 95% of people. This way you're going to lose fat in a sustainable way, you're not going to risk losing muscle, and you're also not going to risk crashing your metabolism. The moderate 500 calorie deficit will allow you to lose 1 pound of body fat per week. So if you aren't in a rush to get abs, then I advise you to take that option. If you are in a rush, however, let's say you have a holiday in 2 months and you want abs by then, the aggressive deficit may be the better choice for you. The aggressive calorie deficit is a 1000 calorie daily deficit, which will allow you to lose 2 pounds of body fat per week, but you are guaranteed to lose muscle during that process. You also must not do it for longer than 8 weeks, otherwise you run the extreme risk of crashing your energy levels, your hormone levels, and your metabolism. After doing an aggressive deficit for 8 weeks, you're going to take 1 to 2 weeks off, where you're going to eat at your maintenance calorie level. However, you will need to rework this out, because if you did the aggressive deficit right for 8 weeks, you would have lost 16 pounds of fat. That way it gives your metabolism and your hormones a chance to bounce back. In my opinion though, you should only ever do the aggressive deficit if you have an event that is coming up in the near future where you want abs. Other than that, you should do a moderate deficit and just be patient. Whether you choose to do a moderate deficit or an aggressive deficit, there are two things you need to make sure that you do. Firstly, track your goddamn calories. I cannot tell you the amount of DMs I receive from people telling me, I've been in a calorie deficit for 2 months, but I haven't lost weight. You know what the first question I ask them is? Have you been tracking your calories? Well, no, I haven't been tracking my calories. Well, you haven't been in a deficit then, so of course you haven't lost weight. Look, I get there's a pain in the arse tracking everything you consume, but it isn't forever. Once you've tracked for 2 to 3 months, you're going to have a much better gauge of how many calories are in everything you consume. And that way you can start eyeballing it, and you're going to know how many calories are in each food, and you can be more lenient in your tracking. But when you first start, track your calories. And keep your protein intake high. 1 gram of protein per pound of your desired body weight per day. That way, you're going to minimize the risk of losing muscle, and you're going to feel fuller for longer. I have days where I mess up my diet and I eat less protein, and even if I've consumed more calories, but I've consumed less protein, I feel way hungrier, so it's actually crazy the difference protein makes in terms of how satiated you feel. Okay, now let's talk about the training aspect of getting visible abs, and this is where most people go wrong. When I first started training, I watched all of the 10-minute ab burner videos, and I started doing hundreds of reps per day for my abs, and to my surprise, my abs didn't grow. And why? Because abs are just like any other muscle. They don't grow from high volume, they grow from being progressively overloaded. So whatever you do, don't start doing 50 rep sets on your abs. For some reason, we're all brainwashed to think that abs act differently to every other muscle in the body, but they do not. Just like every other muscle group, 8 to 12 reps focusing on form and progressive overload. And don't overcomplicate it. You don't need to cycle through 20 different ab exercises that you saw on Instagram. For your upper and middle abs, weighted decline sit-ups is what I would go with. For your lower abs, hanging leg raises are the absolute best. And for your obliques, give these landmine twists a try, they are amazing. Just like any other muscle group, you ideally want to train your abs twice per week. With certain ab exercises like hanging leg raises, you're using body weight, so you can't overload them by adding more weight. Instead, what you can do is slower negative reps. So on hanging leg raises, you would take longer and longer when lowering your legs. Or something that I like is static holds, where you hold the movement for as long as you can at the highest point of tension at the end of the set. This way you're still progressively overloading even when you can't add more weight. Also, bear in mind when you're doing compound movements like squats, your core is actually engaged, so your abs are getting a lot of indirect training. And that's all you need to do for your abs training. Again, nothing elaborate, just simple workouts that work. So that's it. If you want visible abs, focus on these 3 things. First, focus on getting your body fat down to the right percentage, 10 to 15% if you're a man, and 17 to 20% if you're a woman. Secondly, train your abs like any other muscle group, 8 to 12 reps, progressively overloading, and twice per week. And finally, have patience and be realistic. If you're anything like I was and you're 70 pounds or even more overweight, it's going to take time. In fact, for me, to be honest, it took me 2 years because I had no idea what I was doing. But luckily you have me, so it won't take you as long. I promise you, all the effort will be worth it in the end. There is nothing, absolutely nothing that can replicate the feeling you get when you first see your abs in the mirror for the first time. That honestly, it's a crazy experience that everyone needs to experience at least once in their life. If you have any questions, feel free to drop me a DM. The link will be in the description. Also in the description, sign up for my free weekly newsletter where I give tips on how to lose fat and keep it off for the rest of your life. Or if you want some one-on-one time with me, book a call below. We can have a chat about how we're going to get you in the best shape of your life. Other than that, if you found this helpful, leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.